today's topic is European real estate, specifically because we have 3 articles all talking about European real estate this week of news, starting off with a Japanese investment bank, NBK, based out of Tokyo, actually tokenizing real estate property out of Estonia. Not much information about it itself, Kyle, but the idea and the purpose of it is for NBK to be able to offer more diverse options to its investor base, specifically taking advantage of fractionalization in this case, to be able to offer smaller investment minimums to their client base, and thus therefore easier diversification because you can now participate in more offerings at any one given time.
Love this.
Makes total sense. The company itself, the investment bank, actually bought a company called Angu Fintech a couple months ago, which that company is based out of Estonia. So, and actually, according to the press release, will be offering the instruments directly through this platform. So itself, the tokens are going to be EU compliant with the regulation. It's not very clear who the intended audience is per se, but we can expect to see even more deals coming from NBK in the coming months. But of course, the illustration here is that we have a Tokyo-based investment bank tokenizing real estate out of Estonia. Very fascinating, really great to see. Comes on the heels of also Equisafe, which recently announced also launching 15 more STOs in the next 9 months specifically. The company itself plans to have a secondary market and is known for being the first STO issuer out of France. They did a $6.5 million luxury property, also known as the Anna Mansion. Presumably a lot of their STOs to come are also going to be in the real estate space, though we know that they are also have a broad focus. Finally, Kyle, we also have T0 announcing the fact that they are tokenizing $25 million worth of UK real estate, specifically talking about one property. T0 partnered with Alliance Investments to tokenize the River Plaza, which was reportedly worth over $600 million. And what T0 will be doing is tokenizing a portion of it, roughly $25 million worth, and listing it on their exchange, which in this case, now we're talking about UK assets being listed on an American market for consumption there. We'll see if that ends up being both in a global format, presumably so, in a Reg D, Reg S format. Needless to say, here we have just there's 3 different use cases, Kyle. Different investment banks, different exchanges, different issuance platforms, all tokenizing European real estate.
Yeah, it's a great way to diversify. I love that first piece that you had mentioned regarding the Japanese investment bank looking to lower the investment minimums. Because I think the reality is that for real estate, it's a tremendous opportunity to diversify across multiple jurisdictions, to invest in a real hard asset that throughout history has been one of the most successful and safe investment opportunities, especially a lot of people feel very safe about putting their money in real estate. But the reality is that the options in terms of investing in a fractionalized ownership piece of different real estate properties has always been very difficult, right? REITs are really the only thing that comes to mind. They're very highly regulated and very limited in scope. And so for an investor to be able to buy multiple pieces of property or multiple pieces of land property across many different countries, many different jurisdictions, in different cities, in different regions, is really a fantastic thing for diversification, to properly have a portfolio that exposes you to many different markets while protecting you potentially from only the ones that you know, right? It allows you to stray a little bit away from where you're mostly correlated to be able to protect yourself. So that's fantastic. It also allows potentially many new opportunities for funds to open, investing in many different real estate opportunities around the world so that you can properly invest in these things. So it's I'm psyched.
There's a major challenge that's present here, I think, Kyle, which is the fact that it's difficult to access real estate opportunities outside of your home country. To be able to go and get access to a specific investment in Estonia as a real estate property, or in France, or the student housing project that we reported on out of the UK. I think that was being done by Smartlands.
We know
there was a Luxembourg property by Tokeny. Fundament Group obviously partnering with Bowens. So the previously before, I don't think that it was easy to access these types of opportunities. Tokenization obviously dramatically eases that access. And therefore, like you said, I think there's a great case for why even American investors would want to even own real estate outside of the US itself, right? And so I think Europe being bullish on the fact that they have a great premium real estate asset class, the fact that maybe before it was even more difficult, possibly, I can't say, to access real estate in Europe than it was per se maybe the US. I think all of these matters come into why we're seeing such a proliferation around European real estate being tokenized.
And you're seeing with tourism, it seems that every one of these cities in Europe is just blowing up because of tourism, and that certainly over the last few decades has become something that's absolutely been exponential for a lot of these smaller cities, that it allows for access into investing in some of these places, and as you said, it provides more access for investors to be able to participate in places that they may not have the expertise or the access to be able to find those deals. And it's great for the real estate owners themselves to be able to develop properties, to be able to remove some of their liability, to be able to raise and recapitalize on some of their things earlier, only allows for more real estate development and more progress moving forward.
And let's just kind of review these different scenarios, right, Kyle? This is truly an example of why this is a global phenomenon. The first example, we have a Japanese investment bank underwriting a deal out of Estonia. Another example, we have a UK-based group doing a deal with a US market like T0. We have the local kind of focus on saying, look, we have real estate out of France or out of Luxembourg or wherever that needs to break away and get attention from either retail investors or simply more exposure to more institutions. So we have multiple trends converging here. I think it's really exciting to see that this is one of the very first use cases of tokenization. We've always called it that real estate would be one of the first use cases. I just think it's interesting to see, although the St. Regis is about to get listed, that there seems to be quite a bit of active traction out of Europe.
Outside the US, it does seem like there's a ton of properties coming from there. It will be interesting to see if the difference is the demand is there for European deals, or if there are just more properties available. Both would be fantastic. I think that the reality is that real estate from all around the world will be listed and exchanged, and it's a fascinating sample to consider that we have three different use cases really from three different types of real estate deals just in the last week. And I think it's great to show that there's so many use cases for this. It's not just one specific opportunity that seems to work and that they're trying to replicate it over and over and over. No, we're talking about multiple jurisdictions, multiple countries working together to list deals for different types of investors with different types of investment propositions. And so that's why I really think it's fantastic.
With that, I think we can close today's show. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please join us again and subscribe and follow us for, I believe, another 6 to 8 episodes remaining in the year.
Mm-hmm. We have all of our news posted on stomarket.com/news. That's what we use as our resources to find all of our links. We submit everything there. It's also in the description, so check it out. Engage with us. We have a lot of great conversations with people on Twitter or via LinkedIn, so check that out. We post thought articles. Herwig just posted an article today on Medium, so if you're interested in checking that out, definitely go find him there. He posted it on LinkedIn as well. So a lot of great content coming out, and feel free to share any articles you have with us for the next episode.
Please reach out on Twitter, reach out on LinkedIn. And as always, thanks for listening.